Welcome, dear friends. Here we are, another week, another opportunity of so much learning. So many blessings come every week through our studies of the Spiritist magazine. So on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we take a few minutes, pre-programmed, scheduled time to study and to reflect on the teachings of the Spiritist magazine and the teachings that the Superior Spirits bring to you and I to hopefully get every day a little bit better, right? As Allan Kardec reminds us that the good Spiritist is the one who every day strives to improve. Of course, I'm paraphrasing. But yet, every time you read the Spiritist magazine, every time we reflect on the teachings of Spiritism, especially of the many books that are here behind me, we get better. We get the tools and the knowledge that we need to be better, to become better spirits, to overcome our difficulties, to overcome our shortcomings. And today we have the most beautiful article by the spirit Euripedes Barsanufo through the mediumship of Corina Novelina. And this message is titled Seeking Peace. Revisit this message by Euripedes Barsanufo, who was a medium who received messages directly from Jesus, to remind us that even in moments of difficult planetary transition times, we are still able to seek peace inside of ourselves that in turn will reflect into the peace we see in the world, right? We are in a planet of trials and expiations, planetary transition to a planet of regeneration. Evil is still very present in our daily lives. So we are here to reflect on how to seek peace. As always, we encourage everyone to visit the website of the Spiritist magazine, where you can find the link to download the PDF version of the magazine. If you watch this on video, you're going to watch this and see the videos, the screenshot of the magazine. Normally, I make it very easy. We read it directly from the magazine so that we can gain a lot of different teachings and insights. They're prepared, but the good spirits are here with us. They're with you, inspiring you to learn and to get a deeper understanding of the teachings. Visit spiritistmagazine.org. You can write at spiritistmagazine@gmail.com to talk to the editor-in-chief. And without further delay, welcome if you're live or if you're on demand. We love to have you here every week. We would love for you to share these teachings with others so that we can broaden the reach of the good in the world. Here is Euripedes Barsanufo. That's a reproduction of a photograph that he had while he was still alive. Euripedes Barsanufo discarnated during the flu pandemic of 1918. So it's been a little while since he left the physical body on the earth, but he's on the other side inspiring us to do the good. Seeking Peace is the title of the message. On the left side of the screen are the different thumbnails or different pages of the magazine. This one is dedicated to youth and how we train, we teach, we model, and we guide the youth into changing the world. So when we teach our young the teachings of Spiritism, the values of Spiritism, and we teach them to follow the divine laws they have within their realm of influence, the circle of influence, the ability to change the world around them. We want to raise organized, conscientious, Christ-conscious beings that are not just for themselves, right? We want to bring individuals into the world who see their role in changing the lives of many around them. In other words, we don't want selfish individuals. So the teachings today are by the Spirit, Euripedes Barsanufo, through the mediumship of Corina Novelina, who is the medium of today. And Euripedes Barsanufo is the full text. It's not long. It was psychographed in 1955. There's a whole book called The Spirit and Compromise by publisher Hope and Charity. It is being translated by Kardec Radio. Our Renaissance Salon has a whole playlist on this, so we can visit that time. And today we're going to go delve into details into this message. So Euripedes Barsanufo says, brothers and sisters, that's you and I, may the peace of the Divine Master be in your heart. So when you see yourself in the mirror, first thing in the morning, you say, may the peace of Divine Master be in my heart. When you are out in the world, you say that mentally to others. If you're allowed to, please say that out loud. May the peace of Jesus be with you. May the peace of God be with you, if the person doesn't happen to be Christian. Faith represents a set of spiritual achievements acquired by the individual over the centuries. Dear friend, you are an immortal spirit. God is eternal, no beginning, no end. We have a beginning, but we don't have ends. Once your spirit was created simple and ignorant, you're constantly acquiring faith as one of the spiritual achievements that we have over centuries, many reincarnations. This is why there are varied degrees in the manifestation of faith. So what's your degree of manifestation of faith in your life? Some have it to a more advanced degree. Others begin the ascent or the first steps of the infinite ladder of faith. Just like in the hierarchy of spirits, right? We have spirits who are right at the beginning of their phases of evolution. And then we have spirits like Jesus who are Christ spirits, at the highest of pure spirits. Varying degrees of spiritual qualities, and here varying degrees of faith. That means diversity, friends. It's important to be different. Imagine if the world looked like a bunch of us. Imagine if you looked in the mirror and you saw yourself and you walked out and 8 billion faces were just like you and did what you did. The world wouldn't even function because you only have a set of abilities, physical abilities, intellectual abilities, and emotional and spiritual abilities that are unique to you. We complement each other. That's the law of society. The law of society dictates that we have to live with different people who are diverse and different from us, each and every one of them unique, but they complement one another. In all, the process of consolation and hope are promising fruits of the state of trust, in which they are depositaries of absolute or relative certainty in a higher power. So here we have consolation and hope as promising fruits. Are you hopeful for a better future? Yes, friends, we are undergoing a difficult time on the earth, especially in the United States of America. However, we have hope that Christ is at the helm and everything shall pass. Beloved brethren, that's what he says. This is why the superior spirits are so beautiful to read, because they teach us how to write. They teach us how to think. They teach us how to complement one another, how to address others as sisters, brothers and sisters, even the people who we disagree with. They're still brothers and sisters in humanity. Arm yourselves with this edifying confidence, and you'll be led to beautiful regions of concrete hope and renewing stimulus. So have the confidence that you, dear friend, have the gene, the DNA of divinity inside of you, as Message 30 of the Living Spring by Emmanuel reminds us of it. The gene of divinity, the qualities of the divine are inside of us. Let's allow it to be renewed and stimulated into flourishing in our daily lives. And he's gonna, at the end of the message, the second half of the message, Euripedes Barsanufo is gonna teach us how to start nourishing those spiritual qualities and achievements of the soul. Positively, life on earth is only a minute in the clock of eternity. We have what? An actuarial table would tell you that the average lifespan in America is in the mid-70s. I believe it's 74 for women. If you live to be 50, you likely have another 30 years at least of life left as a female. I know the actuarial tables for females because that's what my actuarial tables are about. But it's a few years shorter for males than females for various different reasons. But we want to use that time as just a minute in infinity. One lifetime, one of many opportunities of renewal, and we will be granted by God another opportunity here on earth or elsewhere to improve. Take advantage of this precious moment. He says, you are alive on the earth today. Do the good. Take advantage of your reincarnation. This is the greatest imposition of the soul in a redemptive journey through the world of shadows, which is earth. So earth is still enveloped in shadows. So what are our ability to take advantage of these precious moments? We are, I hate to use this, but we are in a moment where we have to make a decision. Do I want to stay and contribute to the development of higher spiritual qualities on the earth? Or am I going to segregate myself out because you are vibrationally not in attunement with the progress of earth into a different world that is more attuned with us? We have to commit to do the good. Commit to our spiritual places, our spiritist centers. Commit to educate the youth in these beautiful teachings. Commit to be the one who's there all the time, who's going to study, who's going to constitute a group of incarnates who, in communion with these spirit friends, are able to dispense the spiritual medicine that we all need. We cannot be passive anymore, friends, just surfing. We go to the Spiritist center, to the church, to the temple, whatever. We receive the blessings and we go home. It's time to commit. Why does it matter that you have 50 passport stamps, that you visit all these places if God put me in a place knowing over certain content, especially Spiritism, because we are the minority, and I don't go and do what I have to do in my Spiritist center? Because I am now being selfish because I want the only things that are good for me and my family, not for the community. We have to sacrifice. We have to sacrifice just as Christ did. Christ never said, oh, let me travel all throughout Galilee and in different villages just because I want to post on Instagram that I went elsewhere. He was always working. If he's truly our guide and model, we need to follow his lead, which means sacrifice and service. But how to enjoy this moment well, you ask, this precious moment of being on the earth? Reincarnation is sought by many. There are many, many spirits waiting for an opportunity. And many of us don't want to have big families anymore, so they're waiting for that physical body to form. So you already have a physical body. You might be brewing one inside of your womb right now if you're a female of certain reproductive age. You might be supporting those who are. So how can we do the best we can with these precious moments of our reincarnation? He's going to tell us, we will answer to you. See, he never uses I know. He's we, the group of superior spirits where he belongs to, have a message for us, and he is the intermediary. He says, seek peace in your conscience by the sacred fulfillment of the duties towards the neighbor. How many people come to me and says, I'm not ready. I don't want to do it. I'm not ready. So we're not fulfilling the duty to the neighbor. We're only thinking about our own needs. When I fulfill my sacred obligations, my duties towards my neighbors, I have peace of conscience. Our neighbors represent Christ himself in line with our moral obligations towards him. He never said, I'm only going to do what's best for me. I'm going to hoard a resource for my family, my favorite. No, he served everyone. And he only worked publicly for 3 years. Imagine if on the earth the powers to be hadn't murdered him. How much more progress humanity would have been. Yet he is in the spiritual realms of higher elevation of the earth, waiting and guiding us as our governor to do the good. For if we wish to our brother what we desire for ourselves, it is to the very Christ that we aspire to grant the beneficent action of our thoughts. So what do I want to have? I need to wish that for others. Wish to others what you want to have. You want peace, you want prosperity, so do others. But there's so much need in our communities right now. Not only physical needs for shelter, food, clothing. Almost half of children in this country live in poverty. What are we doing to improve the communities where Christ has granted us the opportunity of staying at? If we do not do to our neighbor what we do not want for ourselves, it is Jesus whom we seek to serve. At the end, you can say to everyone, I don't want to do this, I just want to go and receive. But ultimately, our conscience will not be clear. They will not have a clear conscience, and it will be between you and God, you and Jesus, because Jesus is the emissary of God on the planet. How are our consciences today? How many new ways are presented to our understanding in the sense of the duty towards those who live beside us? Did you know we have duty towards those who live beside us? Yes, you do, to the neighbor to the right, to the left, above, to the family who shares the daycare with you, the children who are in your children's school, the people who share the roads, your neighbors. Our family members are also our neighbors. But we need to stop this short-sighted vision that we only care for our own, because if I don't care for mine, I need to care for the Bible says I need to care for more, just my family or the first. Yes, the Bible says take care of yours, but we have so much. If you're listening to this, you have so many resources that you can use towards others, including your time to dedicate to the Spiritist doctrine, to volunteer work, because after all this traveling, enjoying, is treating Earth as a vacation, is not going to allow us to do what we came to do in our reincarnatory plan. Because, and remember, everything is temporary. It could all end tomorrow with the discarnation or with the taking of the resources, because God granted us to those who are giving a lot will be asked of them, right? So here are some rules that will greatly contribute to the raising of the edifice of our inner peace, and consequently to our future happiness. Seek the renewal of our thoughts in our everyday circumstances. So what are we thinking about? Are we thinking about the good and how to serve, or are we recycling thoughts of self-doubt, low confidence, that everyone is the problem, I'm the victim? So he says, renew our thoughts. Cleanse the mouth with the antiseptic of good word at all hours, even the most difficult instances. This is one of the hardest today. We all are coming together to complain about something. Did you notice that? Well, there are so many blessings. It says, cleanse your mouth with good words. Bring the comfort of the vibrations of the good word to all creatures, from those residing in the plant kingdom to the atoms, the spiritual principle in the mineral kingdom, the viruses, bacteria kingdoms, right? Archaea kingdoms. Then we have the plants, the animals, and the humans, all creatures. even those who want us ill, those who right now we feel attacked by, we feel sidelined by, particularly to those who impinge suffering. So if our leaders are driving us all bananas in 2025, all around the world, we need to wish them, bring them the comfort of the good words, wishing them well, praying for the superior spirits to inspire them. Because if we don't, the forces of evil will come and inspire them instead. We need to do the good because there's no neutral, friends. I'll leave it for next life when I'm old, when I discarnate, and then disease comes, takes us away. We don't have time. Today is the day. We must raise the good thoughts of forgiveness and tolerance. Let's pray for our leaders. Give to all individuals the witnessing always present of legitimate understanding, which is expressed in the forgetfulness of offenses. Really difficult for us to forgive those who hurt us. So let's work on forgetfulness of offenses, forgiving and forgetting. Let us never deny the tender friendship of our solidarity with those who suffer. Who is suffering that we need help? Everyone. Even if they have a palace, they may be suffering. Those on the streets are suffering. Those in shelters are suffering. The kids who go hungry are suffering. Those in areas of war are suffering. Those who are unhoused are suffering. Those who are working 40, 50 hours a week to not make ends meet are suffering. Those who don't have a touchstone of these beautiful teachings of Spiritism to know that they are more than the physical, to be able to be strong against the temptations of the physical flesh. What temptations? These guys is a temptation. This is my cell phone I'm pointing to. The use of social media temptations because they waste our time, right? The most precious things you have is time. The temptations of video games, of addictions, of pornography, all the temptations of the physical, of enjoying alcohol, drugs. Yes, friends, if you use any of those things, you are enveloping yourself with individuals of a lower nature in the spiritual and physical realms, depending on the environment. So we're not attracting good vibrations of the good word, right? So we need to think about this. Give to those who don't see why it matters, why they matter. Look at someone who is lost in their depression, mental challenges, so that we can tell them, you matter, you're a spirit, God created you, you have a spirit mentors with you. Let's work together. Let's reach out to those who are in need, and they are everywhere. This is a planet of trials and expiations. And last but not least, he says, may Jesus help us on the rise to the Father. So let's think about Jesus. What would Jesus do? Jesus would be caring, compassionate. He always had a good word. He smiled with his eyes. He was precise to the point. He never criticized. He was always serving. And he came to fulfill God's will, and so are we. We are here today with the Spiritist Magazine Studies, fulfilling God's will for us, which is spreading the good news. If you know of Spiritism, share. If you know of Spiritism, look for your Spiritist center in your city. If there isn't one, guess what? You just volunteer to start one. Start with the gospel home in your house. Invite your friends. Eventually, the spirits will inspire you to find a library, classroom, a multi-purpose room in a community center, and then it goes from there. There's always this interaction between the two realms. So seeking the good will give us inner peace, because the article is all about seeking peace with the spirit, Euripedes Barsanufo, through the mediumship of Corina Novelina. Dear friends, don't forget to visit spiritistmagazine.org to leave your comment, your questions, your likes, your subscribes, your follows, so on and so forth. God willing, I'll be back with you next week with another study. Until then, stay well, stay safe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.